What's up, y'all? I'm back out here at the range, as you can see behind me, on another hot summer day, so I'm definitely going to be chasing the shade around out here. I got a lot of good stuff planned for today, and we're going to start it out with something that always draws some discussions down in the comments. We got us some more 380 auto. So we got the jelly contraption over here staying cool in the shade with the chrono and 2 fresh blocks of gel here. No tests at all done in these, so we'll get a really nice clear picture of what happens. And of course, as you can see, I'm using my heavy clothing barrier that's got the layer of denim, fleece, and 2 layers of cotton t-shirt material. So again, what we got here is some 380 ACP. This was actually sent to me by the folks at FDI, Family Defender Institute, down in Mocksville, North Carolina. I believe they put on some firearms safety courses, training courses, and stuff like that down there. But they sent this to me out to test. This is the Precision 1 XTP plus P loads here, 90 grain projectile. Now the box is saying 975 feet per second. I'm going to reserve some of my judgment, but I'm just going to tell you straight out the gate here, I don't expect anything good out of these right here. At 975, and I doubt we'll even see that because y'all just know how it is, I don't think these XTPs have a chance of expanding at that kind of velocity. Now, every time somebody mentions these in the comments, they're always referencing some 10-year-old video that tested these. Now, I'm not discrediting anything anybody else has done, you know, but myself, I know what I've seen, and I know what I do right here in front of my own eyes, and that's what I go by. And I'm just telling you right now, I don't know what the deal was on any other test, but a lot can happen in 10 years, and I'm pretty much willing to bet these things are not going to be it. But I'm going to give it a couple different chances out here to prove me wrong. We're going to use the LCP Max because y'all have heard me say this in the past. Me personally, I would never tote something like this. Never. I think you are absolutely handicapping yourself beyond belief with an already funky caliber to get to act right. With a little old tiny short barrel like this, I don't even have to keep saying it. Y'all have seen it in the past. You are really handicapping yourself by using this, but this is what most people use with a 380, because if you go up bigger, and yes, I'll agree with this, you may as well step up to a 9 mil. So we got the LCP Max with a 2 3/4 inch barrel. Now I have actually, just about a week ago, I went ahead and changed out my trigger and my trigger spring kit with that M Carbo stuff I bought, and I can tell you just by dry firing it, there's a huge difference. This trigger is way smoother, way more even throughout the pull. You don't have that real hard break, real clunky break like the stock trigger does. Now it is still heavy, of course, and they actually send 2 different hammer springs. One's a 12-pound, one's a 10. I used a 12, but I might actually put that 10 and see what kind of difference I get there. But anyway, after this thing fails miserably, like I'm pretty sure it's going to do, we got a little bit longer barrel here to give it another chance with my M&P EZ in 380. Now this has got basically a 3.5 inch barrel. It's got a hair more because of this ported chamber on the end, but for all intents and purposes, it's right at about a 3.5 inch barrel. So I really do hope this stuff can prove me wrong somehow. Believe it or not, I'm never rooting for any ammo to do bad. I hope it all does well because there's just that many more choices out there, but the facts are just the facts. You just can't change physics out here. So like I said, I'm not expecting the best, but hopefully it'll prove me wrong. Let me get this set up and let's check them out. All right, let's see if we can get us some speed, y'all. I'm going to do a 5-round average from each barrel length, starting with this LCP Max first. Now, if you're not familiar with this chrono, I mention it every time, you'll get multiple readings off this. We're going to get a muzzle, and then you'll see 5 smaller numbers at the bottom. That's going to be 3, 7, 10, 25, and 50 yards is what that's set for. The 3 is because that's going to coincide basically with the 10 feet at the gel here. So let's get us 5 rounds. Remember, this box is saying 975. Let's see how close it gets out of this little max here. 967, 929, 968, 942, and 922, so definitely not the 975. And you know, like I said, y'all have already heard my opinion on what's going to happen here. Now, as far as this M Carbo trigger, I'll tell you what, that's a very much nicer feeling trigger than the stock was. All right, so our 5-round average on that was 946 feet per second, so definitely not the 975. Extreme spread of 47 and a standard deviation of 21.4. 946 feet per second with an XTP projectile projectile, a small caliber XTP projectile, I don't think there's any way this stuff's going to expand. I really just don't. But again, I hope I'm wrong. Let me reset it and let's check out the EZ. All right, let's send 5 rounds through this little bit longer barrel on the EZ. We may see the 975 on this one right here, or very, very close to it anyway. Got 1,051, so we got over it. 1,054, 1,053, 1,072. That one bumped on up there. And 1,041, so all of those well over the 975, and that just further proves my point that I'm always ranting and raving about, how much you are absolutely handicapping yourself with that little LCP max. That right there is a huge difference in velocity. So our 5-round average that time was 1,054, an extreme spread of 31, and a standard deviation of 11. And that extreme spread would have been a whole lot less if it wasn't for that one rogue round, whatever the case from that was. But much faster velocity there. If you remember 1,054 on this one, if you remember on that max, it was 946. So you talking about 108 feet per second faster from that extra barrel length. 108 feet per second, that's over 10%, and not just so much as being over 10% more, as it's right over that magical kind of 1,000, 1,100 threshold. That being said, I don't even know that 1,000 whatever it is on this EZ is going to make these XTPs behave like they should. But again, I really do hope I'm wrong. Let me get this reset and y'all know what time it is. All right, y'all, it's does a decade make a difference jelly time. I'm gonna put 1 round from each barrel into the gel, starting with this LCP max first. Like I said, y'all know my opinion. I don't think we're gonna get much of nothing. I almost put barriers behind the second block. We should be okay, even if it don't expand. All right, that actually hit exactly point of aim. Now, I will give credit where credit is due as far as this max. This M-Carbo trigger setup has already made a world of difference, y'all. Let me go down there and see what we got. All right, y'all, we got pretty much exactly what I expected down there. I'm definitely gonna say I told you so. I know some of y'all out there didn't have to be told so, but I told you so for some of y'all who do. As far as this EZ, I don't know. This one's right on the edge around 1,100 where I feel like it needs to be to even start mushrooming, but let's see what it does, y'all. All right, I lost my impact mark on that one. I think I see where I went. Let's go see what we got. All right, let's check out what we got down here, y'all. A little bit of a glare. I hope that's not too terrible. The one bad thing about these brand new blocks, never been used before, they're nice and crystal clear, but they still a little wavy until you do the first remelt and mold on them. But I think you can get a good picture. But basically what we got down here is a mixed bag, I would call it. So on the top there, that's the one out of the LCP Max. That right there is a total failure as far as that round is concerned. Now, this is another one of them cases where this performance in the gel right here, I would be completely happy with. That performance right there gives you what you want. As you can see, it comes in here, you got a lot of disruption, but none of that is from any kind of expansion. All of that is tumbling. All of that disruption is tumbling, and then it stops there, evens on out, carries on into this second block about maybe a half of an inch, and there's absolutely no expansion on that round, none at all. It's sitting down there backwards. So that's what I always talk about here. This tumbling action is absolutely nothing but chance. You can also get the flip side of that where it zips right on through. We've seen it. I've tested plenty of FMJ and HPs that don't expand that zip through both blocks of gel. So this is nothing but chance. And if you're going to rely on chance, that's my whole point when I talk about these expanding 380 rounds. You may as well run a ball round because you can get this same exact performance from an FMJ. I've tested it in the past. I'll leave some links. There's plenty of of videos of me doing it, and it's a 50-50 chance. Again, sometimes the FMJ will zip through, sometimes it'll tumble, just like you're seeing here. So basically what this boils down to is this round is a failure as far as what it's designed to do. You'll never get expansion from that LCP Max. I've tested enough of this XTP to tell you very confidently you will never see expansion from that LCP Max. Now, you'll see either tumbling or a straight line, but expansion is never going to be one of your options that you might have a chance of seeing. Now, on the flip side, down below it, that's the one out of the EZ with the little bit longer barrel. A totally different story here. This one actually expanded when it came in. A little bit of disruption here, travels on through here, probably around the 13-14 inch mark, and it is actually expanded down here. So that's what you get when these rounds actually work as designed. So even when they work as designed, that right there is pitiful compared to some of the other options that I've tested in 380. Now, it did its job. It expanded, but it took a longer barrel to do that. And most people out there in 380, as soon as you mention a barrel longer than that LCP Max, they go all to pieces. So there you go. If you want this round to perform as intended, that's the kind of performance you get right there, and you have to get it out of a longer barrel. But let's get to penetration on these before I spend all day out here ranting and rambling. The one here from the LCP Max stopped at exactly 17 inches. So 17 inches of penetration there, which a lot of people are going to say is too much. I think that's perfect, but I know how some people are. And then the one here from your EZ, you got exactly 14.5 inches of penetration. So very, very nice penetration in my opinion on both of these. Now here's your look overhead, and you can see that disruption from that first one is absolutely massive because of the tumbling, and that's exactly what you see when an FMJ tumbles. So, and then down there on the bottom, of course, the one from the Max, or the EZ, but you can see, here's the one from the LCP Max, absolutely no kind of expansion whatsoever. And then the one down there from the EZ, it looks like it's expanded actually pretty nicely for what it is. All right, let's take a look at these projectiles, y'all. Obvious which is which. This one right here is from the LCP Max. As you can see, absolutely no expansion whatsoever out of this thing. And then this one here is from the EZ. Totally different story here. This one here's got perfect expansion for an XTP. That's pretty much all you can expect out of an XTP. So that looks really, really nice as far as expansion. But let's get a couple measurements on them and see what we got there. They both started at 90. This one here from the LCP Max is actually 90.6. So absolutely nothing lost there, and probably nothing lost here from this EZ. That one's actually 90.2. So yeah, I don't see anything there. It could be a tiny little crumb, obviously, but nothing real measurable at all as far as loss. And then as far as the sizes, obviously this LCP Max, the biggest part's gonna be the base. You got 352, 354, and a length of 458. And this one here out of the EZ, you got 467, 460, and 458. So like I said, that's about as much as you're gonna expect to get from an XTP, especially in a smaller caliber. And there you have it, y'all, the highly requested blast from the past Precision 1 XTP Plus P, they call it. That's another thing I didn't even mention, but I can just tell you right now, there was nothing Plus P feeling about this whatsoever. I'm not sure, you know, what the threshold is to be able to label this stuff Plus P, but this has got to be at the very bottom edge of it. Again, I'm not trying to talk about this ammo like it's something horrible. This definitely did exactly what it was supposed to do, but like I said, you're having to step up to a longer barrel to even get this, and even then it's still nothing spectacular. There's nothing about this ammo that would make me want to go out and actually seek this specifically. Now, if you've got this, yeah, use it. I would use either one of these. I would use FMJ if I was carrying 380, so I would definitely use either one of them, but you just have to realize what you have here. You don't have some kind of magical thing that's going to solve the 380 expanding hollow point problem. You just don't. You've got what you got here. If you're running that LCP Max, you're just as well off running a solid round, an FMJ. In this case, it really does just come down to cost, because you're not getting any better performance than an FMJ. Now, if you can get these for some reason more economical than ball rounds, then by all means, go ahead and get them. But if you can't, you're just throwing money away if you're expecting hollow point performance from this, running it out of this short barrel. All right, y'all, I'm gonna call it right there for this first test of the day with some 380 auto. Again, not much of a surprise to me what we saw out here today. Really, the only surprise I had was the EZ actually making it expand. I didn't figure either one of them would. That one was probably right there on the edge of getting it to. The LCP Max, like I said, it had absolutely no chance. It will have absolutely no chance of getting these tanks to expand under whatever the conditions, just because of this speed. You know, they can call this plus P all they want, and maybe it's right there within the Sammy range for being plus P, but you don't feel it, you don't hear it, and you don't see plus P performance. And this is definitely not me trying to bash on Precision 1 ammo. I run their 500 mag, love that stuff, it's nice and strong. This 380 ammo just is what it is, y'all. Like I said, there's absolutely no magic formula that's going to turn a mediocre round with mediocre speeds into a good performer. It's just not going to happen. So take this info and do what you will with it. As far as me personally, would I use this ammo if I had it on hand? Yes. Would I go out and buy this ammo? Absolutely not. But let me know down in the comments what y'all think about the performance you saw here today. Any of y'all out there actually carry this Precision 1? I'm sure you do based on some of the older tests. Does any of this change your mind? Or are you still sticking with the belief that this stuff is a magic formula? Let me know down in the comments what your thoughts are. If you did enjoy the video, reach down and hit that thumbs up button. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel and make sure you've got your notifications on so you don't miss anything when I upload it. If you're doing some shopping, check out those affiliate links I got in the video description. Anything you buy after going through any of those links down there, I get a kickback from them towards the channel, so I really appreciate that. Once again, thank you to FDI for sending this ammo out for me to test and check out today. I really appreciate that. A big thanks to all my Range Gang members and every single one of y'all for supporting the channel like y'all do. I've got some really interesting stuff planned for out here today, so be on the lookout for that. And in the meantime, stay safe, stay prepared, and I'll see you soon.